What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. I hope everyone is having a great weekend so far, but we're back here with another realistic rebuild on NBA 2K26, and today we have ourselves a very mid franchise, that being the Chicago Bulls. And usually when you say mid, it's not the most positive thing to say anyway, but that's definitely what the Bulls are. It just isn't a great situation. It hasn't been for a while. In Chicago, they've been the definition of just mid, and that is the bad thing about this franchise. So let's go ahead and jump in and do this realistic Bulls rebuild in NBA 2K26 and get them stuck out of the damn middle. The Bulls find themselves at 11-15 or 12-15 because I do believe they just beat the Cleveland Cavaliers as we're recording this. But we have Josh Giddey, Coby White, Vucevic, Buzelis. There is some things to like here, not a whole lot, but there is some things, and the Bulls will find themselves more than likely as a play-in team in the East, and that's what it's been like for the last 4 years, it feels like. So this team needs to do something different. Will they ever do that? Who knows? It seems like there's no positive light at the end of the tunnel for Bulls fans right now, but that is why we're going to try to fix that in today's video. So I do think we are going to make a trade at the deadline, though, to be honest with you, with Coby White, who is an expiring contract. So we're going to try to get something for him at the deadline. I think that's where we're going to start in this video. So let's go ahead and get this one started, and we will see what that gets us started with at the deadline, because that is the plan with Coby White, at least, to start things off. So the first trade of this Bulls video is going to be, in fact, this. We're going to be sending Coby White and a second over to the Timberwolves for Rob Dillingham and a first-round pick on top of that. There have been a lot of rumors about Coby White potentially to Minnesota anyway, and this does feel like an okay trade to start things off with. Who knows what Rob Dillingham will become? Does it become better than Giddey eventually? I don't know that for a fact, but I still do like this trade no matter what. So that is the trade we're going to do to begin this video, and then I'm going to go ahead and move Coby White over to point guard for the Timberwolves. So there you go. That's the first move we're making on the video, and that I'm very happy with. So that's probably not going to change rotation this season, other than obviously Coby White is out of it now. It doesn't look like Dillingham will get a run this year. Let's also go 10-man rotation at this point. We're 22 and 29. I would low-key be so okay with being in the lottery, but I don't know if 2K is going to give us that. So I will see you guys at I should have traded Vucevic too, now I think about it, but whatever. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. So at the end of year 1, SGA wins MVP, Flag is your Rookie of the Year, Jeremy Grant is your 6th man, Mobley is your DPOY, Neemias is your Most Improved, Cade is your Clutch Player, and Mark is your Coach of the Year, and Murphy is your Executive. And SGA also, I guess it didn't show Cup MVP at this point because we're past that point. Okay, so here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team. All offensive first and all defensive second, all rookie first and all rookie second as well. So we end up as the 10th seed in the East, or I think it's the 8th seed actually. So kind of what I expected. We'll be a play-in team, and that's kind of where, you know, the highlight of our season is. But you had 19 from Giddey. You had 18 from Vucevic, who at this point I'll probably resign the offseason because I didn't trade him at the deadline. So do want to get something for him eventually, maybe trade him at the deadline next year. Buzelis with 14 points per game, 11 from Nasumu, 11 from Herter, and 10 from Trey Jones, 10 from Zach Collins, and 9 from Jalen Smith. So I really don't even care how this goes. I hope to lose, honestly, and of course we don't. We're going to be in the playoffs. We're going to play the Detroit Pistons in round 1. So kind of anticipating getting blown out here if I had to expect, but let's see if I'm wrong. And yeah, wouldn't you know? So exactly how a Bull season has kind of been as of late. They either get eliminated play-in, make in the playoffs, and get eliminated pretty easily in the first. Actually, it's been a while since I remember the Bulls being in the playoffs. But the Timberwolves do go on to win a championship, so Coby White seemed to be a great addition to that mix. So shout out to the Wolves for that. But all right, unfortunately, we will not have a lottery pick, which would have been really nice to add to this team. But instead, I'll be picking outside of the lottery. So let's see where that's going to end up. So we will have the 15th pick. So literally the pick right outside of the lottery. So at least there's that. Maybe we're lucky enough to see somebody fall to us. That would be pretty good. But Bill Donovan right now is still the head coach. And I think I'm fine with that for now because next year will probably still be a tanking year if I had to guess, unless this team surprises me. But let's go ahead and jump in and draft with 15, and we will see who's lucky enough to fall into our laps. So I think with this 15th overall pick, I'm going to be selecting Braylon Mullins here, who has all-NBA ceiling. So we'll see what his overall is out of the gate, out of UConn. Don't really know a whole lot about him, but I've never taken him in video before, so I'm taking a chance here. 74 overall, so maybe he develops into something good for us. We'll see. Braylon Mullins, welcome to Chicago. Player options, we got Phillips, we got Dillingham, and Buzelis, which I'm going to accept all of these at this point. And then qualifying offers, Dalen Terry, also a free agent. I mean, I'll probably just let him go. And then for free agency, we have Vucevic, who I am going to re-sign at this point because, like I said, I didn't keep him. Although we do have some cap room, so that's kind of interesting to think about if we want to go spending some money, I guess, if we wanted to on like a DeAndre Ayton or something like that. I don't really want to do that. I do think I am just going to, although Durant would be awesome, I think Detroit's going to lock him up for sure. I am going to just simply re-sign Vucevic, I think, and call it good for now. Definitely not my long-term guy, but I'm going to give him a 2-year deal to stick around in Chicago. And then we have a little bit more to fill out. So obviously you still have Trey Jones, Rob Dillingham. Curious to see what he'll turn into for us. Braylon Mullins, who we could start right away, and honestly, I might do that out of the gate. Okoro, Phillips, and then Bazelis, Patrick Williams, and then Jalen Smith. So we'll get Vucevic back, Noah Singay, Patrick Williams are still going to be guys who are going to play next year for us. And then I'll probably sign a cheap shooting guard. I want to tank next year again, basically. So I want to get someone who's going to be worse than Braylon Mullins. I'm going to give Mullins the keys to just starting. So I'm going to give Terrence Shannon a deal. Why not? And so I'm going to get Vucevic and Terrence Shannon back on the team. And I'm going to let everyone else go. That's our Vucevic back, and then Terrence Shannon as a new addition. So 2 Timberwolves players. And I think that is going to be it for me. I want next year to be as bad as possible. So let's go to player progression. We have Josh Giddey up to an 85, Bazelis up to an 82. Patrick Williams still developing at this point. Okay. Rob Dillingham's up to a 77. Sengay's up to a 75. And then you have Terrence Shannon up, and then Mullins still a 74. So one of those guys will start obviously at the 2. And then Trey Jones, I might look to trade him just because I want to give the keys to Rob Dillingham to play an actual at the point guard spot. Do I do that right now, though, is the question. Do think that's probably the best thing to do if we're going to give Rob Dillingham more minutes. So let's see what we get for Trey Jones. Not expecting a whole lot here, but I just want to clear the floor for Dillingham. We're just going to add a 3rd string center with Goga Badatste and a 2nd round pick. That seems fine to me. Just like I said, I wanted to solve the idea of having Trey Jones out of the way for Rob Dillingham to get that backup point guard role. So I like that trade a lot for us, and we will see what this rotation is going to look like going into year number 2. Still projected to be pretty bad if I had to guess, but it is all about the patient approach. I'm not in a rush to make sure that this team is going to make it happen and be really good right away. That is the worst way to do things. Do not take shortcuts. Take the right direction. So 3-star proficiency with Billy Donovan still as the head coach. I think I might move Patrick Williams to the 3 though, because or a Sengay I guess wouldn't be terrible. Oh, actually, yeah, let's start Noah Sengay next year. So we're gonna have they still want to start Okoro though. I don't know if I like that idea. So we're actually gonna move Okoro to a non-bench role because I mean there's no need for him to be playing over a Sengay. A Sengay, if he develops anything, that's a plus for us. So here's what we got. We got now Josh Giddey, Terrence Shannon, who's going to start. Noah Singay, Bazelis, Vucevic, Patrick Williams, Jalen Smith, Okoro, Rob Dillingham. But again, I'm at the point where I want to start the other guy. So I'm actually going to take out Terrence Shannon and put Braylon Mullins in there. I want Braylon Mullins to just start. And if a Singay and Mullins can turn in anything for us, that's a plus. So that's what we're trying to do in this season where I anticipate us being bad. Unless if they surprise me. Now it's Keon Johnson starting. Nope, that's not going to happen either. You guys get the point where I'm going with this. I'm going to put Keon Johnson on the bench, and Braylon Mullins is going to start. So I'll see you guys either at the trade deadline or at the end of the season. So we are at the trade deadline, and I am going to be trading Nikola Vucevic. So we're going to be sending him over to the Warriors for Moses Moody in a straight-up swap just to get a younger player in the building here. We're 25 and 28, so unfortunately for us, we are still mid, which is kind of annoying, but that's just where we're at. So Moses Moody is going to get the chance to start right away, which I guess is fine. Although, again, I am all on the Sengay train here, so I'm going to start Noah Sengay. But yeah, it looks like we're well on our way to have ourselves another mid-season, which is just kind of brutal. But it is what it is. We're probably going to have to make a type of move to, you know, I don't know how we're going to get out of this, basically. Tanking would have been the way I would have done it, but 2K has other plans for us. So we may have to do something different and hope the guys we currently have are going to develop in it, you know, into something good, which I just don't know if I see that, but whatever. It is what it is right now. So I don't think I'm going to re-sign a single one of these guys, and we might even have some money open up as well. That's something to keep in mind. So maybe we have some cap room, and maybe that's where we get better in free agency. We'll have to see. So Wemby's going to win MVP. Peterson's your rookie of the year. Kalower is your sixth man. Wemby is your DPOY. Most improved goes to McCain. Jokic is your clutch player. And Mike Brown is your coach of the year. And Aaron Phillips is your executive. Brunson's your cup MVP. And Wemby is your MVP. And Peterson won rookie. All right, I'm literally just cycling through this once again. I think the cup MVP being gone is throwing me off. Or maybe I was just reading that all incorrectly. I am pretty tired, not going to lie. But that's all besides the point. Wemby, Jokic, Giannis, Edwards, and Luka Doncic. Here is your all-NBA second team and all-NBA third team. So Josh Giddey actually does make it on here. So 27-7, not too shabby. I'm not really sure if Giddey is going to be the guy that stays here forever, but he's only 24 years old and he's still on a pretty good deal. So I really don't have any rush to move off of him right now. If he was making a little bit more money, it would be different. Now, we do get Braylon Mullins to make an all-rookie first team, though. He averaged 15 points per game, so I think giving him the chance to start right away may have paid off. We'll see what his development looks like, but we are in the play-in again as the 7th seed in the East. Here were your player stats. So you had 20 from Josh Giddey, 15 from Mullins, 14 from Buzelis, 12 from Moses Moody, 10 and 8 from Smith, and 10 from Patrick Williams. So Indiana, do we beat them? Yes, we do. So we're in the playoffs again. This time we get to play the Atlanta Hawks. So let's see what that's going to look like. Diamond rotation, and we'll see if we can take out the Hawks at all. So, and wow, we actually forced a game 7. We got eliminated in the first round still. But the fact that we pushed the Hawks to 7 with Peterson on the roster is pretty impressive, honestly. Nice stuff, but we still have a lot of work to be done. So let's see who is going to come out here and win the championship. Toronto and OKC. And the Thunder go on to get another one here. So free agency is going to be interesting for us because I do think there's a chance we may have a little bit of money to work with. Now, it's going to say we have this Blazers pick, but it's just not entirely true at all. This pick is still a lot protected in real life. We have the 16th pick, so once again, another pick right outside the lottery. I do need to send this pick back to the Blazers. And we do get a new coach this offseason, so at least there's that. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't actually have this first rounder. So, all right. We have Doc Rivers, Kenny Atkinson, Joe Mazzulla. So there is some guys that we can go after that would be nice. So actually, we might even be able to get Mazzulla to come over here with how much money we have. So I'm going to throw as much as I can at our new head coach, see if we can get one of these guys to come turn this franchise around. And even Jason Kidd doesn't sound too bad. I'm going to throw him an offer as well. So let's see if we get any of those guys. So we can actually pick our poison here, and I do think I am going to choose Joe Mazzulla. So Mazzulla is going to be the new coach of the Bulls. He's going to help turn this franchise around. At least that's the hope. So let's see. Do we trade? Yeah, I think we drafted with 16, and we're going to put a primary focus on free agency. I also wouldn't hate the idea of getting off Patrick Williams' contract somehow. Although, man, he is such a different player in the 2K sim. 45% from 3. He's pretty good in the 2K sim, I will say. But he does have a player option next year. We'll just see what we get with 16. I don't think I'm going to trade anybody just yet. So at 16th, we do have a couple of good options here, but I think I'm going to settle on Brandon McCoy, I guess, if we're going to take maybe the best available, or we could take Omer Mayer here, but point guard, whatever it may be. Welcome to the Bulls, my friend, Brandon McCoy. That will be our pick. He's going to be number 74 overall at 16, so not too bad. And we got Jacob Furphy in the second round. Player options, Buzelis, Asengate, and Dillingham, all guys I'm going to accept. And then Craig Porter and Terrence Shannon are both free agents, which probably won't worry about any of them. So how much money do we have, if in at all? So we do not, or actually we do have Giannis money. Okay, that actually changes quite a bit. So we have money to go after someone really good, which is kind of interesting, I will say. Now, I will say someone who does stick out to me quite a bit is Anthony Davis. Not someone I go for ever. But if I did get him, he would be an interesting center to have. There's obviously, just because of the Chicago storyline, Jokic is someone who often comes to the Bulls in 2K as well, but just doesn't feel all that realistic. And there's Karl-Anthony Towns as well, who's also an interesting option. What do I want to do? So we have Giddey Dillingham. We have Braylon Mullins, which I don't really know how much he's going to develop, but if it's better than anything, that would be nice. Noah Singay, Moses Moody, which I think a Singay could turn into something. I still like Buzelis, Patrick Williams. So it is basically the center. And then shooting guards, we have like Jalen Green, which actually Jalen Green, low-key, does kind of intrigue me as well. I'm not going to lie. I actually might like that over Anthony Davis. We get Jalen Green and someone else, because Jalen Green is someone who gets buckets. I like Mullins, but Green is a stud in the 2K sim. And this gives us still a lot of money to work with. So I am going to go ahead and give Jalen Green a deal. How much money does, or how many offers? He has no offers right now. So I actually think we can get Jalen Green, pair him up with a Josh Giddey in the backcourt. And, you know, defensively, it might be a little weird, but I think offensively they could do something. So We have to go a little bit cheaper at the 5 now, which won't be easy. There's not a lot of great options here outside of Lively, which I wouldn't mind that. But the Mavericks more than likely match whatever I throw at him. So that's why I don't even want to waste my time almost. Or they should in, real life anyway. So I am going to go for Diabate at least as a backup. I don't hate that idea. Is there a power forward who maybe could play the 5? Not really. Randall? Nah, I'm not going to do that. That would be kind of weird. AD would be funny. I mean, if I could have found a way to afford AD and Jalen Green, that would be my dream scenario, but I don't think I can do that if I had to guess. So let's get Jalen Green, though, because I do think that's going to be the better option. I am going to renounce Diabate. I want to see what I could do. Could I get AD on day 12 of free agency? Or no, he's starting to get some offers now, so I don't think we can get that lucky. So, yeah, we're not going to be able to get both of them, but Jalen Green, to me, feels like a guy to get in Chicago. So I like that. Cat's here, and yeah, it would have been really tough to get to that. So, centers, we got Rob Williams, Brandon Clark, and then Diabate was still sitting here. And then there's Iguodala, who maybe could turn into something. So I'm going to throw Iguodala a deal. I think actually he could be... We have 35 million. We're actually not too far off from being able to afford like Cat, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to throw Iguodala a deal to be our center, at least. And then we're going to throw another deal as someone, let's see, Sandro... Anybody else who could be kind of... I guess Diabate was my first option, and I think I'm going to go with him again. So these are going to be the 2 5s we bring in, and they're going to compete for that starting spot. One of them maybe turns into a good player to, be passable at least, I think would be nice. So I'm liking that, and I think we maybe turn our attention to a center at the trade deadline. I actually think this team could be pretty good. So progression, at least in 2K. I don't know about real life, but Mullins does develop really well up to an 80 overall already. Asenge is up to a 78. Dillingham's up to an 81, Bazelis up to an 84. So the team is developing a little bit more than I even anticipated, but Patch Williams' contract is probably going to be used at the deadline to get us a center. So that'll be the plan. If we can get a 5 on this team could surprise us, I will say. We'll see if it works out, though. I do think there's a good chance that this team could be a playoff team with Jalen Green in the mix because, like I said, in 2K, he is a stud, and Giddey already has this Bulls team making the playoffs every year, so add Jalen Green to that. We may be cooking with something special. We'll see, though. Now, immediately, I do notice that power rank is not the highest on the squad. So that's something to keep in mind. But that's okay. So Dillingham, I actually want to start Rob Dillingham. I'm surprised by that. So they have Josh Giddey on the bench on a simple balance proficiency, which is just weird to me. I mean, I don't know if I can really get behind that. So we're going to go back to Josh Giddey being the starter. I think that's what we need to do. Josh Giddey, Jalen Green, Moses Moody, Bazelis, Iguodala, Dillingham, Mullins, Patch Williams, Asenge, and then we're going to run that 10-man rotation. Or, sorry, we're already running a 10-man rotation. I don't need to run 11. So 10-man rotation, and then again, I am going to keep Josh Giddey as the starter, although I guess Dillingham maybe could turn into something, so maybe even Josh Giddey is tradable at the deadline. I don't know. Just a thought, but we'll see. Okay, well, we're going to take this to the trade deadline. I think this team might surprise us a little bit, but I could be dead wrong. We could be really bad, and that'd be what I've wanted the last 2 years, but it finally happens now. We'll see. I'll see you guys at the deadline with our record and what makes sense to do when we're there. So we are at the trade deadline, and immediately Bam Adebayo is the center that's sticking out to me, as the Miami Heat are still quite bad. I feel like we need a defensive center for what we have on this lineup, and Bam is someone that I like the idea of right now as they are selling. And of course, looking at us, we are 16-35. So of course, the last 2 years where I've wanted to tank, we make the playoffs, but the year that I was like, okay, we could be interesting, we are bad. So that's kind of as it would go. So I could just tank the rest of the season and pick high and see what we get, but this is the, what draft class is this? Okay, so there is some good players in this draft class, I will say, so that could be the best thing to do, but I am kind of liking the idea of acquiring Bam Adebayo right now. So our pick is really good, and this Timberwolves pick is not so good. So what if we could make something happen for Bam? I don't know if we could get there, but I'm going to try. So Bam Adebayo, we are going to need 30 more million in here, which Moses Moody is going to have to be in here. Actually, that makes up the money right there. So Moses Moody, and let's say we throw McCoy in there for some value as well, and Nicholas Carl. So Patch Williams, Moses Moody, Brandon McCoy. I would lie protect my first rounder. That's fine, because if we're bad this year, I don't think we'll be bad next year. And I'll throw this Timberwolves pick at them as well. So let's see what they say to this. This feels like a pretty good offer, and they will accept. So just like that, we have Bam Adebayo now in the mix. So Josh Giddey is still being benched for Rob Dillingham, though, which is pretty interesting to me. But Bam should help us turn things around a little bit. Still have a lot of work to be done, but we're going to add a Lottery pick to this team potentially, although Bam could turn things around, but Bam Adebayo, Josh Giddey, Rob. I mean, I think this team is looking good. I think if we add a lottery pick to this mix, then we should be a playoff team next year. At least that is the hope, anyway. So first year, we do not make the playoffs, which, again, this was the kind of the year that I was expecting to actually be somewhat decent, and that just did not work out that way whatsoever. But next year is where it's all going to happen for us. I'm a firm believer in that. So here were your player stats. You had 23 from Jalen Green, who actually didn't play a whole lot this season. 20 from Bam, 18 from Josh Giddey, 16 from Braylon Mullins, who's been really good for us. Bazelis with 15 and 15 for Rob Dillingham. But that's all besides the point. We are going to enter the lottery, and we're going to see what that is going to get us. So hopefully it will be good things for us when we're there. Spurs and the Cavs go on to win a championship. Evan Mobley is your finals MVP. So here are your retirements. McCollum is retiring his son, Vucevic, Jimmy Butler. But all right, this is where it is going to be very exciting to see where this is going to end up. So we're projected a top 5 pick. We lot protected it for a reason, obviously. 11.5% chance. Let's see what we get. And we get the 8th pick. Wow, that is the Bulls' luck, actually. But it is a lottery pick that will add to the mix. Would have loved to have been higher than that. Unfortunately, we did not get that high. So, all good. It's fine. Still adding the 8th pick to this mix. I mean, the position of need we really need to go after is probably going to be a forward. Honestly, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Let's just see what's on the board for us. So, Marcus Spears goes 1. Would have loved to have added him. He would have been perfect. Roster would have loved to have added him. Nathan goes, and then Obini Ezeki goes, who I think I've had in a video before. He was really good. Lincoln Cosby goes, and then Ryan Hampton goes. Okay, so we have Matthias. I don't know much about him, or Paul, or Costanza, or King Gibson. So we take probably one of these guys, both 20 years old. I think I might land on this guy, though. So I think I'm going to take Paul here with this selection. So welcome to the Bulls, Paul. Don't want to say your last name, but he is going to be a 76 overall. The other guy would have been pretty good, too. So either way, I feel like that was solid enough. Player options, we got Furphy, which I'm going to decline, Mullins, and Asenge. Hopefully those guys continue to ascend. And then we got Rob Dillingham, Buzelis, who are 2 guys I am looking to re-sign. Okay, so both of them not asking for a whole lot of money, which is a good thing. So both those guys will be taken care of. So get them both back, and Iguodaro is going to be our backup center next year. And I think we have ourselves basically a full rotation next year. So Dillingham, Giddey, Jalen Green, Mullins, Senge, Bazelis. I will say the 3 spot is still a little wonky for me. So, small forwards, we have Hugo Gonzalez, who is unrestricted. Is there a chance he'll jump up at all if we bring him in? I mean, he's 22, and he does have an A+ 3-point shot. So, you know what? I am going to go ahead and throw him a deal. Let's see what him and Senge could do next to each other as, like, battling out for that starting 3 spot, maybe. We'll see what that turns into. But, all right, player progression. We have Dillingham to... Yo, Josh Giddey might have to go. I'm just saying. Honestly, we could maybe even do it this offseason. So, Bazale's up to an 85. Mullins up to an 81. Asenge and Hugo is up. But is it in our best interest to trade Josh Giddey right now and just give Dillingham the keys? I think it is. So, Josh Giddey, I appreciate your services, but I think you're going to be the one that has to go here. I'm going to do it right now. I don't even think I'm going to wait till the deadline. So I'm trying to see if I can get Ron Holland to be my new starting small forward on this team. He's actually listed at the power forward right now. So if we bring him into the mix and move him to the 3, he might jump up more than we even expected. So they say no to that first initial offer, which is fair, but I am going to, I guess I can throw one of the small forwards at them since we'll bring one of them in. Asenge, man, this would be kind of a tough thing to do, but Asenge has not moved up really at all. So if we get Ron Holland on this team, he probably jumps up to an 86, and they do agree. So that was a big move to make, but I think it's going to pay off. He's up to an 87 overall. So, yeah, I think that was worth it. So Dillingham has been given the keys, and you still have your full 10-man rotation, other than we do need a new center or a new point guard. But yeah, I like it. I think this team is looking way different than, you know, where we came from, but I do think this team can make the playoffs next year. At least that's my hope. We've pretty much built it to make the playoffs next year, so we'll see if it does work out that way. I will say Power Rank has us 7th overall, which is a good sign, although our proficiency is down quite a bit, which kind of sucks, but we should be pretty good defensively with Bam Adebayo and Ron Holland on this team now. So with Rob Dillingham, Jalen Green, Ron Holland, Bazelis, Bam Adebayo, to me, it feels like a pretty good starting five with Mullins, Hugo, Iguodaro, and they bring in Scottie Pippen and Colby Jones, which honestly isn't too bad. Like, it could be a lot worse. I'm okay with that. So Okay, proficiency is only 3.5. And then what are the shot tendencies? That's one thing I do want to settle here. So Jalen Green's obviously going to have the high shot tendency here, which is not surprising. And I guess Rob Dillingham has to be the second guy here. So that's who we've kind of brought into the mix to be that. And he has developed pretty nicely. Ron Holland, I don't need to score. I just want him to be, that support defensive player. And we'll bring Bam's touch tendency down just a tad bit. Nothing too crazy. But all right, I think this team is exactly how I want them to look like. So we'll see if this team surprises me. Although Buzelis' shot tendency could be boosted up too. But I guess at this point, he's been solid enough at 15 that I'm fine with that. So let's simulate this season. We've made the playoffs, but this year, if we made the playoffs, it'd feel like an actual legitimate, okay, this team is a playoff team for years to come. But we'll see if that is where we're at. Looks okay right now, but I will see you guys at the end of this season to see where we're at officially. So Wembanyama wins MVP. Roster is your rookie of the year. Murray is your sixth man. Wemby is your depoy. Arenas is your most improved. D-Book's your clutch player. And Jason Kidd, coach of the year, as the Mavs went 66-16. And here is your cup MVP going to Karl-Anthony Towns. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second. Ja Morant and SGA both hurt, which is brutal for both those teams. And we do not have an All-NBA representative for the Bulls this year, but that's okay. What about All-Defensive? Nah, nothing there for us either. Okay. We do get Braden Smith making All-Rookie second team, I guess, which is kind of interesting. Okay. So we have the 4th seed in the East, and here is what we're going to be running going in the playoffs. We're going to go 9-man rotation, and let's go look at these stats to kind of see how it went. So who led the way and what's going on? So we have Jalen Green with 22, Bam with 20, and 17 from Rob Dillingham, 15 from Mullins, 13 from Buzelis, 10 from Ron Holland, and 7 from Scottie Pippen. So got a 9-man rotation. We got the Cavs, who actually just won the championship last year. So this should be a very interesting series to start things off with. But I mean, overall wise, our team looks pretty good, but so do the Cavs. So we'll have to see what this looks like. So game 1 is going to go to Cleveland. Game 2 is going to go to us. Beat them 146-134. 30 from Rob Dillingham. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to them. So far, back and forth as I expected. But can we come out here and win this game 5 to take a 3-2 lead? Or are we going to be in trouble? We've had the lead most of the game, but we're trying to take it back at the end. And we have done that. 123-132. So we're up 3-2 with a chance to get to the second round for the first time in the video, and the first time in I don't even know how long it's been for the Bulls. Probably since the Derrick Rose days. Is that a crazy thought? Like, I think that's literally the last time the Bulls were in the second round. So, all right. 8-man rotation. Let's see if we can't come out here and win game 7 at home in Chicago and get to the second round. I said it's been a long time, so I'd like to break that, and let's see if we hang on here, and we will. So we get to the second round. We get to play the Knicks. So the Knicks, of course, are a good sim team, so we definitely have our hands full, but I like what we have going on here. Would love our bench to be a little bit better, but we look top heavy. We get the New York Knicks in round 2. We have Wendell Carter starting at the power forward, interestingly enough. But okay, Jalen Brunson still 4, still have Cat. I mean, I could have stolen him, I guess, but decided not to. So who's going to be also here? Boston and Atlanta on the other side. Okay, game 1 is going to go to us. 135-120. 26 from Brunson. 27 from Bam. Game 2 goes to the Knicks. Game 3 goes to the Knicks. And this is where we could be stopped in our tracks. But still have a chance to tie the series. We already got a road win, and they have 2. So we have to try to win our other home game, which we've gotten off to a good start here. But they're right behind us trying to get back in the game. As long as we hang on, we are going to tie the series, and we do. 125-133. 36 from Rob Dillingham, averaging 19 points per game in the playoffs. Okay. Now for game 5 on the road in Madison Square Garden. We've already won on the road once. Can we do it again in this big game 5 affair? Gotta get this one if we want to advance, and we might, and we do. 135-115. All right, we have a chance to close them out at home to get to the conference finals a year after trading away Josh Giddey. Can we do it? It's looking good right now. We may hang on. Yes, we do. 110-130. Jalen Green with 39, averaging 23 right now. We've made it to the conference finals to play Atlanta or Boston. Preferably play Boston because Atlanta, of course, is loaded up with Peterson and Koa Pete. Wow, damn. Yeah, that Hawks team is pretty stacked, but we'll see who it's going to be. It will be Boston. I said I wanted Boston, and that's who we get. So, you know, the last time I think I asked for something, they ended up beating me pretty bad. So could happen here. Don't get me wrong, but All right, this should be fun. So we already have the 8-man rotation loaded out. I guess it's Missoula's former team as well. Road game to start things off, and we do lose, and we lose both. So we got to try to tie the series back at home in Chicago. I said I wanted Boston, and they're showing me why maybe I should have wanted the other team. But do we maybe take our home game in game 3? No, we do not. So we're down 3-0 to Boston, unfortunately. Usually Boston's not a good sim team in 2K, but Atlanta seemed like a really scary idea to take on with Peterson, Trae Young, and Ricochet. But we are going to win game 4, so we do win at least one here. So hold on. Maybe we have a 3-0 comeback in us. We'll find out. Got to win this one, though, to keep it alive. So one game at a time. We snuck in the back door in the last game, but this time it's not going to happen. So it was a fun little playoff run, but unfortunately it does come to a halting end. The Celtics make it, the Suns are there, and the Suns beat the Celtics in 6. So we got to the conference finals, which was nice, but unfortunately we got beat pretty bad there. So how can we get better? The one thing I will say is we do have Paul, who might develop into something for us, which would be big if we could get him into something. Other than that, I really don't know if there's many upgrades left for us. We're pretty much kind of where we're at as a team. And then the bench. The bench needs to improve as well. So that could be something we could really focus on. Mullins is going to be, of course, an accept. And then Braden Smith, like, those guys played a role. But I do want to improve the bench. No free agents to worry about. So that's a good sign. We could get a really good bench player, which is definitely needed right now. So what do we need to get? We have Mullins, we have Hugo, we have Paul, who I'm hopefully relying on to be something good. So it's basically point guard and center. So I did see Simons and like Carter and Colin, but Miles Turner, I mean, idea of him as a backup center sounds cool and all, but Gafford as a minimum just seems pretty good. So I'm going to sign Gafford to a minimum deal, and then I am going to get Devin Carter, I think, to be our backup point guard. So hopefully I can get those two. It looks like we will. So we'll get those two guys. And then, again, I'm really hoping for Paul to develop into something good. Embiid is funny, kind of as like a insurance plan, I guess. I'm going to get Nickeil Alexander-Walker as well. And then if Embiid's still here, why not? I'm going to give him a deal too. So Embiid's coming over. And then how much is Paul going to develop? That's kind of like my secret weapon, hopefully. He is up to a 79, so at least he's going to enter the rotation. Ron Holland's unfortunately down a little bit, but still an 85 overall. You have Embiid regressing, which not a surprise, but he's at least a third string center for us. All right, we'll see. I mean, Paul is going to enter the rotation. I really don't know if like getting a 79 is going to change much, but the bench will be better. Our bench wasn't the greatest last year, so we'll hope that is the difference between us and a championship. So at the end of this season, Wemby wins MVP. Garma is your Rookie of the Year. Nathan is your 6th man. Wemby is your D-Poi as well. Cosby Most Improved. D-Books your Clutch Player. Mitch Johnson is your Coach of the Year. And Aaron Phillips is your Executive. And Kat is your Cup MVP. So, do we have anybody on All-NBA first team this year? Still nothing, but I think we're a collective more than just an all-around, go through one guy type of team. So that's fine. We're the first in the East, though, so at least we have that. And here were your player stats. So, you had 25 from Jalen Green, 20 from Bam Adebayo, 19 from Rob Dillingham, 17 from Braylon Mullins, and Bazelis with 14. So, I was a little nervous about those injuries, but thankfully they're both just day-to-day, so they should be back, hopefully. So, we'll see that looks like going to the playoffs, but let's go to our 9-man rotation and let's be ready hopefully for round 1. Hopefully we are healthy. We get Miami, funny enough. So Bazelis is back, fully healthy. Bam is basically fully healthy, but he's playing his former team, which the Miami Heat have Yakachones, Rosser, Hero, Khalil Ware starting. And all right, we'll see how this is going to go. So game 1 is going to go to us, 145 to 118. Game 2 goes to us as well. Bam, are you back? He is. Do we sweep the Heat? 3-0 so far, and we do take care of them pretty easily. Now for the team, actually no, Boston gets eliminated. So we got Jalen Lowe, Mitchell, Tyson, Mobley, Jarrett Allen. We went to 7 with this team earlier. Trying to get back to the conference finals here again, and we'll see if we do that. So game 1 is going to go to us, 127-26. That was a close one, but we do get out of there alive. Do we win both games at home, though? No, we do not. Do we win game 3? No, we're down 2-1. Not a good sign as we are trying to get back to the conference finals, but can we win game 4 at the very least to tie this series? We're going to go down 3-1 in a massive hole here. Have a lead right now. We will win. Okay. I'm pulling out the 8-man rotation already. I'm doing it. I don't care. Braylon Mullins is going to start at the 3. Do we have an injury right now? Is that what's going on? Ron Holland, you're out, aren't you? Damn. He's day-to-day, though, so He'll be back, but got to survive without him for right now. So let's see if we can't win game 5 without Ron Holland. We'll do it for you. Hopefully, can we win game 5? It's a close back and forth, and we do win 114, 117, 40 from Jalen Green. That's a big win to get. All right, is Ron Holland back? He is. That's big. Okay, now for game 6 to hopefully close out the Cavs. We went down 2-1, but we've gotten to the point where we may win 3 straight, I should say. And it looks like we're going to blow them out on the road. So that's a good thing to do. And now we're in the conference finals. We get to play the Hawks. So we didn't play last year. It was the Celtics, of course. But the Hawks are just as scary as usual. But Trae Young is injured. Does that hurt or help them? I don't know. That's the question. If you ask him, buddy, he's out for 2 to 4 weeks. So they're not going to have Trae Young at all. This should be interesting to see how this is going to go. So game 1 is going to go to Atlanta. We may have run into a team that without Trae Young is probably going to perform better, funny enough. I know that's weird to say, but I think that's exactly what's going to happen to us. But we're going to hopefully win game 2, but it looks like we're going to go down 2-0. So, yeah, low-key, Trae Young being out may have kind of helped them because, you know, sometimes, and then Ron Holland's out again, isn't he? Or no, he's just off the bench right now. Okay, we got to try to win game 3 on the road to get back in the series. I mean, it's still possible we can, but we're down 2-0, and they get back in the game, and they're going to go up 3-0. So that's twice now in the conference finals. We have not been able to really show much of anything. We've been blown out both times. We lose in 5, probably going to lose in 5 here. We were down 3-0 to the Celtics. We got 1 game, so maybe that's what happens here. And then whatever. So can we win game 5, I guess, to stay alive for 1 more game? And we do that. By barely survive that. Okay. Already run the aim rotation. I mean, we'll go to the bench utilization. Is Trae Young back for them yet? I know it's weird that I'm asking for Trae Young to be back, but I think that would help if he was. I don't know why, but I have a feeling it would like break the shot tendency kind of thing for them. But do we survive another game here? Maybe, and win another one here. We have a lead right now. Do we hang on to it? Okay, we've won 2 straight. Hold on. We can maybe win another one. Force a game 7, but we got to win game 6. Do we do just that? We have a lead for a second. We take it back again. We have a nice gap in the second and third quarter. Maybe we have forced a game 7, fellas. Oh my goodness, we have. 136 to 127. We've done all this, though, probably to just lose in game 7, though, I bet. They're going to do this, and Bam Adebayo gets hurt. That's not good. They're going to do this to rip our heart out. But we take a lead late. Can we hang on to it? The close game 7, but they are starting to run away with it. I knew it. It was too good to be true. 116, 107, 111. We're trying to get back in the game, but don't know if we truly ever will. Ah, man, that sucks. 125. Ah, come on, man. We did all that just to lose, bro. Come on. 127 to 120. Ah, man. We got to go a third time. We got to try one more time here. But we cannot seem to get over the conference finals hump right now. We got closer that time, but the Hawks get in, and they lose to the Spurs in 5. All right, I'm going to give it one more attempt. Embiid does retire. Embiid, we almost got you a championship as I just hit my desk with my arm, but all right, what does this offseason have in store for us? I don't know if I expect much to happen here, so we have no draft capital, I believe. We have the 28th pick at this point late in the video where I'm probably only going 1 more year. Don't expect this guy to contribute much. Reed Keefe and Nate Lucas, welcome. Player options, of course, we'll accept Paul. That doesn't make sense to let him go. And then qualifying offers, Braylon Mullins and Braden Smith. But Mullins, of course, has been a big part of this video, so that is going to be a must resign for me. And we do need to get a new center as well, I've noticed. So, Jalen Duren, wish we had money for you. Any good centers? Wendell Carter. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, I talked about him earlier. Now he's kind of washed, but he's just going to be a backup, so that's fine. Okay, so we got Carter, Dillingham, Mullins, Jalen Green, Hugo, Ron Holland, Rosales, and Paul. All right, guys, this is it. This is it. This is all she wrote. We have to win this year or it's done for. So you still have some more progression. Jalen Green's regressing a little bit, and AD is down to a 78. But again, he's just a backup. Although Michael Ruzic, out of nowhere, is turning into a good player for us. Okay, let's get into this, whatever season this is, and we shall see if this is the time that it happens for us or if we're just never going to get it done today. Still no All-NBA representatives for us in this final season. We had Josh Giddey there at least once in this one, but other than that, nothing. So we're the first in the East again, which is all great, but here were your player stats. You had 25 from Jalen Green. A lot of injuries we're suffering with right now, unfortunately, but Thankfully, everyone's going to be playing through them still, so we shall see what is going to happen in these playoffs. So Cleveland Cavaliers, we've played them a few times and have beat them twice now, I believe. Game 1 is going to go to us. Game 2 is going to go to us. So far, so good. 3-0, and we will beat them in 5, hopefully. Yes, okay. Now for Miami, who we beat pretty easily last year, so hopefully we do that kind of again, but we'll see. So game 1 is going to go to us. And on the other side, there's no Atlanta, there's no Boston, so that could be a good sign for us. But what if Miami just beats us in round 2? It is a 2-2 series, so we are struggling with the Miami Heat right now. But can we win game 5 to get to the conference finals for a 3rd year and not have to deal with Boston or Atlanta? That would be really good. We're going to win game 5. Okay, let's go to our night meditation as well. We win game 6. Yes, we can. We play Orlando, which we've not dealt with them once in this video, but of course they have themselves a pretty good team. DeBonds is off the bench, so game 1 is going to go to Orlando. Game 2 is going to go to Orlando, and we just simply cannot get out of the conference finals today to save our damn lives. So that is going to be how the video ends. Just 3 straight conference finals, never getting to the finals. So Mavericks are going to go on and win the championship, and they beat the Magic in 5. I gave it my all in this one, unfortunately, and we just couldn't escape the conference finals whatsoever. I like what we put together in Chicago. It's kind of different, but unfortunately, just never got over the hump of the conference finals. But hope you guys did enjoy it anyway. I will see you on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend as we approach Christmas day by day. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.